Can you give your money to a bookie and not gamble? Well, you'd be surprised to hear that the answer actually is yes. Yes, you can. Through something called match betting, it's possible to know your profit before an event even starts. How? By using two bookmakers' offers against each other. You know the offers. Sign up and get a £20 bonus here, sign up and get a £40 bonus there. You can use Profit Accumulator's website to find these offers in seconds and use them against each other to make a steady profit each month. Check out their free trial in the link below. Very fancy. Hello, welcome to Friday Night. Thank you very much to our sponsors. Accumulator who's decided to sponsor the Friday Night Pint for the next 8 weeks. That's the ad you saw there. Thank you very much. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Welcome, boys. How are you?
Good, mate. I'm good. Everyone had a good week?
Yeah, sweet, mate. I'm all right. Very fancy, by the way. Very fancy advert, Nick.
Thank you very much.
You look very relaxed in that advert. Too relaxed for my liking. Too relaxed.
Right.
Laying down on a bench and then getting up and having a nice cup of coffee or chocolate, whatever it was, next to a fire.
Cup of tea, mate. Cup of tea. Cup of char. But yeah, thank you very much for that. But we all had a good week, yeah?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Not bad.
Considering the loss last week, obviously. Let's get straight into it, mate. Right, so there's a quote from Moyes in today's press conference, and it goes something like, basically, the board have just gone out to say to him, go out and get what you want. What do you think about
that? Well, it's easy saying it. It's another thing doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't just go, oh, there's a pot of money, go and buy it. You know, you got to. It's not as simple as that, is it? You got to.
It's like me taking Graham to a PV showroom, saying, "Go on, Gray, test drive that." You're not having it though.
Yeah,
get the feel for it. But yeah, look, if it is true, and they're gonna back up the two players that I'm hearing that Moyes has identified that he wants to bring in is Nat Phillips and Diaz from Blackburn, which would be two great additions to the squad. Especially Nat Phillips, I think he'll add. He'll do well with Zuma at the back. I think he'll be first choice over Dawson and Diop if we do get him. And Diaz as well. He's unproven in the Premier League, of course, but he's scoring goals for fun in the Championship. And the last few players we've signed from the Championship have worked out really well. Even when you go back to Creswell from Ipswich, you know, Antonio, Ben Rama, Bowen. You know, there's some good signings there that. They're all first names on the team for me at the moment.
I mean, the thing is that there are some fantastic players in the Championship. It just needs more clubs to, you know, in the Premier League to take a punt on them. There's some good talent down there.
The problem for me is that if Blackburn would have been sitting fifth from bottom of the Championship, I could see us getting the deal done easy. But Blackburn are flying in the Championship. They're obviously fighting for promotion, automatic promotion as well. So why would they want to? They're not going to let him go for cheap. So you're looking at least 25 minimum for him. Is he a sort of player you want to lay that out on? Unproven in the Premier League. It's a big gamble, but as I said, our gambles have worked out before, apart from Hugo. But we forget about Hugo. Pretend I didn't even say Hugo.
That's the thing. The thing you said, like with it is a bit of a gamble, but at the end of the day, we sort of we're at that stage now where we need to gamble. You know, we need reinforcements. We need players in. You know, Nat Phillips, from what I've seen when he's played for Liverpool, been a superb centre-back, young as well, good prospect for the future. And so I ain't seen much of Diaz, but, you know, he's helped put Blackburn in the position they're in. 25 million nowadays for a Championship player. I don't think that's that much. When you see, I'd rather have a bit of a gamble on Championship players. Like you said, it's paid off for us in recent years. With the players
we're saying gamble, but I mean, how often not just for us, but other clubs as well. How often has a big name signing come in and not worked out? So any player you sign's a gamble.
Thing is, though, if you're talking about 25 million for Diaz, I mean, you're looking at between 10 and 12 million for Origi, who's played in the Premier League, has got the experience. You know, is it worth it having a gamble on him? I mean, I don't see him as a gamble because, as I said, Liverpool fans love him. You know, what he's done at that club, he scored so many important goals for them. They won't want to lose him. So maybe we could do a double swoop and get Nat Phillips and Origi from Liverpool for the same price as what we're going to pay for Diaz at Blackburn.
Personally, I don't think Klopp will let Origi go because Origi is his sort of trusted man to bring on late into a game and he goes and gets him goals.
I don't think he has got a choice, Scott, because I think his contract's up in the summer.
Yeah, but I think, the fact that the competitions that they're in at the moment, the fact that they're still pushing higher than we are in the league as well, I think Origi will be probably happier to sit around and, hopefully win a medal at the end of the day.
We can come win a medal with us.
Oh, no, yeah.
He'll still win a medal if they win a competition.
Depends how many games he's played, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure he's played enough. Let me just read this quote out from David Moyes. Like everything else, things are expensive in this window at the moment, and also there's not a great pool of players. The sort of positions we're looking for, we've found it quite difficult to identify and get ones we think can come in and make a difference immediately. The last couple of January transfer windows, we've been able to do that, and this one has felt a little bit more difficult. If things go right and we get a good run of things, I'm still hopeful we'll get a couple of players before the window closes. Now, listen, I would say it's too little too late. In terms of no, that's a stupid thing to say. It's not too little too late because obviously you've got until the end of the window. We should have had this. We should have had this sort of thing wrapped up. Can you ban this person?
Yeah, done it, mate.
I'm just going to say that
we should have had this thing wrapped up quite a long while ago before the run of games, but. We're going to Manchester United tomorrow, and that's the last game we'll be playing before the end of the January transfer window. So he's got a little chance now. We've got a winter break. He's got a little chance now to go we should have people identified. I'm sure they've got people identified, but identify them, sign them, and get them integrated for the squad until the next game. Now, to turn around and say. For David Moyes to turn around and say, the ball are backing me and they're telling me basically to go and get whatever I want. I think that's a dangerous game being played by him because he's now putting the pressure on himself. If something don't happen, you can always leave it up to speculation and we know who everyone to blame. But to turn around, is it true? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know the ins and outs. Is he just saying that? He's got a little bit of a reputation of just saying things to take pressure off of people. But if that's true and we don't get players and we end up with a squad, he'll get the blame. In my eyes, that's a dangerous game to play for him because he's in a good position. Now, is he being told to say that by the board who turn around and go, Dave, come on, mate, take a bit of flack for us. You're in a better position than we are in terms of like fan standing. But I think it's a very dangerous game to be playing for him.
The thing is, at the end of the day, he's as we've said, he's come into the club. He's changed the club around on and off the field, and the fact that they've said to him, "Go and get what you need." I want all the blame to be on the manager if it don't work, because at the end of the day, he needs to be the one bringing in players, not the board. The board needs to go out there and sign the players, but they should be signing the players Moyes wants. So it is about time that he took in the mental on that and took the risk. At the end of the day, it's the players he wants. It's the players he wants to bring in the side. We've had far too many years of our chairman interfering and bringing players in who they think are going to be good. So I want to see the manager stand up and say, I've been told I can go and get the players I want. And at the end of the day, if it don't work, it don't work. But we've seen many a player come to this club that has been brought in by David Sullivan and not worked. So, I trust Moyes more than I trust the board to bring players in. And
100%, mate. You've only got to go on Moyes' last few signings to be proven that. The players he's brought in since he's been back at the club in the second spell, Souček, Bowen. I mean, the only thing that I could with Bowen, I mean, Liverpool are linked with Bowen, isn't they? So if there was anything going to happen with Nat Phillips and Origi, maybe they want something in place to say they got first refusal on Bowen or something like that.
The thing is, everyone keeps saying about Origi, right? If Origi was that good, he'd start every week.
Yeah, but
there's a reason. There's a reason he doesn't start.
But he probably would be in any other Premier League team.
Yeah,
I don't think he will.
Any team, anyone outside the top four, he probably will be. I mean, you look what he's got to face against. He's got Jota, Suarez, Salah, Firmino.
Yeah.
You know,
But the thing is, other player Jota got brought in after Origi was there. Minamino got brought in after Origi was there. Right, Origi for Liverpool is a super sub. A lot of the way Solskjaer used to be a super sub for United. There's certain players who are good at starting games, and there's certain players who are good at coming off the bench.
I forgot about Mane as well. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
no wonder he ain't getting game.
Listen, they've got Liverpool got some quality, but Origi's not a player to start in the side. He's proved that, and that's why he stayed at Liverpool. That's why he's been successful at Liverpool, because he's the player that when you need a goal, you need a player to come off the bench. As United, when they had Solskjaer, you look at Solskjaer's scoring record coming from the bench compared to his scoring record.
But ain't that what we need?
Yeah, but
No,
maybe
Someone to come off the bench.
We need the striker to start.
But what, so you're going to just drop Antonio?
No, I'm not going to just drop Antonio, but we need a striker that's going to push Antonio all the way.
So you're saying
we might be the fresh start that Origi needs, and the opportunity, and he may flourish. You don't know. Like we were saying, gambles. It could be a gamble that pays off.
Look, that's the thing. As we said, it's no different. It's no different of a gamble. The one thing Ryan is right in what he says. It's no different in you're gambling instead of gambling on a championship striker who's had one good season. You're gambling on a striker that scored in the Premier League and in the Champions League. Which one is less of a gamble? That's what you've got to work out. But
yeah, I mentioned Diaz the other week when me and Nicky done a review after the Watford game or Palace game, I think it was, and he's someone that I would like to see at the football club. I mean, when I've watched his highlights, and I have seen Blackburn a couple of times this season when we've played on Sky, and he does look a real talent. He knows where the goal is. And look, the Championship is a tough league, you know. So could he take the step up? I believe he could, but 25 million, I don't know. It's as I said, if you can get Origi for 10, then listen, I'd go and get them both if we could, but I don't think that's
that's it. As I said, mate, you are right. It's less of a gamble with Origi because of the price. That's the thing that nails it really for him. He's a cheaper signing, but it's they've got to fit. Don't get me wrong. I think Origi would do all right with us, but I don't see him.
He's only 26 as well, Origi.
Yeah. I don't see. We need someone who's going to push Antonio out the side. As much as I love we love Antonio in the way he's doing well, but that's what we need to sign, a striker that is going to push him out the side and go on and be the new top striker.
No,
Let me just bring this
comments. That's what I'm doing.
Let me just bring this comment out. Graham.
I just saw that.
That jumper looked like a combination Neil McDonald and Sam Allardyce.
Making me chat. That did make me. That's why I was smiling, because I just see it like that. No, I was actually doing some exercise before we come on, so I got me training stuff on.
What, you ain't had a shower yet?
No, I've just done an hour on the bike.
Your balls must be smoking.
Your arsehole must smell like fucking beef hula hoops.
Yeah, fucking.
Funny enough, I didn't get that close to it. So.
Cookie dough ice cream. Roast beef monster munch.
Smells like cinnamon roll.
The thing that's annoying me a lot, I keep seeing people saying, right, that why would Man United sell a player to us? Why would Liverpool sell a player to us? Oh, they're not going to sell a player to their rivals. Yeah, look, we are rivals, and that's a good thing. We're being classed as rivals to these sides, some of the top sides in this country. But as I've said before, selling a player or loaning a player to us benefits them as much as it benefits us, because we've still got to play their rivals. Yeah, if we were after someone from United, after we play United, it makes sense for them to loan us a player. Because if that player is good enough to play for United, but he's not in their plans at the minute, but they think he can do a job, that player could come on and come to us, score goals.
We're above them in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if they say they were to loan us a player, yeah, that player isn't going to play against them, but he's going to play against every single one of their rivals.
Yeah, but he's also going to win us games.
But that's it. But if we're winning our games, United are winning their games, and we're beating the teams that are above us or above United, it benefits United as well.
I think you're looking wrong because I think if we was 10th, maybe, but we're not. We're above them. They're trying to chase us.
Mourinho sold Mata to Man United when he was at Chelsea, after Man United had played Chelsea and didn't have to play him again. And that was his philosophy. He's still a decent player. He ain't in our plans, but he's going to score goals against teams that are competing with us.
Well, look, we don't know. We don't know what's in their plans. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. Something's come out just before we come on here, so we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But let's take some comments from the comment section. Do you think the reason we can't sign a quality striker is they don't know how to play they don't want to play second fiddle to Antonio?
But as I can't remember, it was I see a comment earlier, like I said, why someone got to play second fiddle to? Why could we not have someone that could play alongside Antonio?
We're not, because we don't play two up top.
Exactly.
But there may be times when we'll need to. So,
but this is the thing. This is what I said. We need someone who's going to push Antonio out that side. That's how we said this last week when we were talking about it. The attitude of the player is that he ain't coming in to play second fiddle to Antonio. I'm coming in and taking his place. And the good thing with Antonio, he can play wide. You know, let's be honest. If we went and got a striker like Diaz, and they dropped Antonio to the bench, what would you rather see coming on the right wing, Antonio or Yarmolenko?
Antonio,
exactly, all day long. So you're improving the squad. You know, you're forcing our top goal scorer and the man that's led our line out of the side. But if we're upgrading on Antonio's still got a role to play in this side.
Listen, the football place, mate, because like if you want to progress and you want to go forward, there's no room for nostalgia or
exactly,
you know, all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like you've got to every player, and that I include like Declan Rice in this. If we could find someone better than Declan Rice, sign him. And makes Declan Rice sit on the bench. That's how you improve as a team.
That's it, mate. That's the thing.
There's no room for sentiment in football. No. You know, if you want to improve, like it's not like we've been top of the league and like he's won us the league. No, like Antonio's brilliant. I want to see him stay for the rest of his career at West Ham. I really would. But if there's a chance to sign a striker that's better than him, he can't just turn around and go, "Wow, he's going to play second fiddle to Antonio." No, he won't. He'll be playing in front of him, and Antonio will be on to come on. That's what we need. Or
it makes Antonio up his game to get in the starting line.
Yeah, exactly. Gives him a bit of competition.
Competition for places makes everybody raise their game, so it'll benefit both players.
You look right. There's no coincidence that we've been playing better the last couple of years because we've got better players come in. Because we had players that used to just turn up week in week out, no days in the starting lineup, and you know they just got on with it. You know, didn't care if we lost. Mm-hmm. But now there's competition. You know, and that's what that's all good teams have competition in their squad.
Mm.
That's it, mate.
You have to. Like, and I want to see someone. Like, I don't mean this rudely. As a fan, I want to see us sign someone better than Antonio. Antonio's good, but he's not world class.
I'd rather we had quality play, like, you know, centre halves pushing each other, left backs pushing. I'd rather we had competition all over the pitch because everybody.
But that's the thing.
Everybody plays the game, so it benefits the whole squad.
Yeah, you take out the injuries that we picked up with the centre backs. You know, we had Zuma and Ogbonna who were playing brilliantly, but when Dawson and Diop were playing in Europe, they were picking up clean sheets. You know, they were putting in performances. So that's pushing everyone within that back line. You've seen it this year with Soufal and Johnson at right back. You know, Creswell's probably the only one who's not really had competition on the left, because let's be honest, as left back Masuaku, who's no competition for Creswell, he's 10 times better. So you know, Creswell plays every week. The midfield, all right, we brought Crow in, you've got Noble. You know, Rice and Souček are the pick week in, week out. You know, they're by far better than them two players. So they're going to start. But then in the wide positions, you've got competition. You've got Fornals, you've got Benrahma, you've got Bowen, you've got Yarmolenko, you've got who have I missed? I've missed someone, haven't I? Yeah, you've got Lanzini. So all for that attacking, them three attacking players that play behind Antonio, there's competition. The only place there's not is up front. You know, and that's the worry. Yeah, it's the same situation we were saying at the start of the season with Areola coming in. You know, it's it's harsh to drop Fabianski, but if Ariola's a better goalkeeper, he should start. And that's the way that we should it should be. That is how sides that are pushing for the top four and staying in the top four do it. They go out and sign players who are better than the players they've got, and it improves the players that they've got, but also pushes them to the next level. And if this is about where we want to be and where we want to go, we need to be now pushing to the next level. We've been in and around the top six for the past 2 seasons. We need to cement ourselves in that top six and keep pushing for this top four. And to do that, we need to improve every season.
Why are you putting that up?
I didn't put it
wrong
up.
Button.
You got to
Do
be
you think the
careful.
reason why
when
we
you do that.
can sign a quality striker is they don't want to play a second fiddle to Antonio? We just answered that. Mitrovic scored loads, but he was shocking in the Premier League, which is a good point. Phillips, Lingard and Origi, job done, says Craig Colwell. The chance to play European football helps, says Borough fan. Origi is a Premier League and Champions League winner. What has Diaz done except change his nation to Chile, says Afan97. Klopp said he can go in an interview, plus his contract is up, says Mark Alexander. Matt MVG Bryant says he isn't scoring freely enough and has been poor of late. We need an out-and-out goal scorer. Diaz is just a bit Patrick Schick. I would love to see him here 100%. Anas Ahmed says the jump from 6th to 4th is difficult. We can't rush things by making stupid decisions. These signings will help us consolidate top 6 and may have potential of helping us break into the Champions League.
I agree with that. That's the thing. Like we said, it's stepping stones, climbing slowly, baby steps.
If we can get Europa League again this year and then push for it again next year, then we're heading in. We can have 3 or 4 seasons on the spin.
Yeah, we need to be a team that every season is battling it out for Europa. I said it the other day on the social. I said we are probably a top 8 team that's been punching above our weight. We've had luck go our way sometimes. Are we a top 4 side? No. Are we a top 6 side? We can be with a few more decent signings. We've been lucky that teams above us have had the last couple of seasons, like teams like Arsenal, Tottenham as well, have dropped off a little bit. And it's given us the chance to break into that top 4. But we're in the top 4 now. Are we going to stay there? Probably not. We might just miss out. But look, it's good to listen. I'd rather be us talking about chasing the top 4 than staying out the bottom 3.
Exactly. And that's the thing, mate. This is the thing. It's we keep improving. Like you said, we've had a good opportunity where sides like Arsenal, sides like Spurs have dipped off. The problem we've got is they're now going to start picking up. So that's why we've got to improve. That's why that's why this window is very important.
So the thing is, all I want is what I'm really enjoying about these last 2 seasons is in the past, I've said it before, we have one good season and we'll have 5, 6 mediocre to poor seasons. Then we'll have another good. We never follow up on a good season with another good season. This year, it looks like we're going to finish another good season. So if we can then follow that with another good season next year, and then you can start attracting the caliber of players you need to break into that.
No one's expecting them to go and get world class players, Graham. But what they need to do is they need to go out and sign good players to compete in the first team. And I know that's what Moyes is saying, yeah. But that's how you improve. We're not saying, oh fucking hell, what we're doing with Mikel Antonio up front? Go and get Messi. We're not saying that. We're saying
no. But I'm saying all we need to do is just keep being consistent. Have 3 or 4 seasons like we're having this year and last year, where we're in sort of 5th, 6th, 7th. We're regularly qualifying for the Europa League. Then you can start
consistent in the league, but we've also got to be consistent in the transfer window as well. And every transfer window, we need to add at least 2 or 3 players to the squad.
Yeah, we have to. You have to. That's what you have to do. Ship. Like even if you've got to ship 1 or 2 out, and that's a little bit what my argument was in the summer. We didn't really add to the squad. We replaced. Like Zuma came in, we replaced Balbuena. Yeah, he's a better replacement, but all right, we had 4 centre backs. So I guess that's a bit null and it's a bit nullified the point. But we sold Anderson. Did we replace Anderson? Who did we sign? Did we sign anyone on the wing?
Ben Rama, wasn't it?
Ben Rama was really Anderson's replacement.
Yeah, but so like it's one in, one out. when we're thin, I didn't think it was good enough in the summer. As I said, we punched above our weight again. The players that have been here have done fantastically well, and I'm not going to complain about any of the players and all of that sort of stuff. But it's down to the club and the manager now to turn around the squad, And I'm not. If we've signed a striker, I'm not going to turn him out, want him to go and sell Antonio. No, Antonio needs to stay because that's why we're always lacking cover. Always.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. Yeah, I don't think there's any worry about Antonio leaving the club, but we definitely need a striker in. We know that, and also another centre back and another midfielder. And look, I know we're gonna talk about Jesse Lingard in a little while, but listen, from day one since the summer, I'm getting bored of this Jesse Lingard talk now. Yes, I want him at the football club. Yes, he would massively improve not only our squad, but our starting 11. But if the deal ain't right for us and it ain't right for him, then we just got to move on. There's other players out there that we can try to identify to come in who might make an impact like Jesse Lingard did.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Like touching on what you were saying with the outs and ins in the summer and stuff like that. The problem is Moyes had a lot of dead wood to get rid of, and he's got rid of that dead wood, and he's got rid of the players that he thought would affect the dressing room if they weren't playing. There's the reason we kept hold of Yarmolenko wasn't because no one else wanted him, because there's teams out there that will take him. It's because he's not going to be a player that's going to rock the boat. He's not going to upset the dressing room if he's not playing. He's got the right attitude, what you need. And as Southgate said, and as we said before on last week's FMP, Southgate for England said the players who are not playing are key to the way the dressing room is, the way the other player, the way the things are around the team. That seems to me the same with us. Players like Noble, players like Yarmolenko, players like Kroll, who are not getting a game, but they're there. They're training week in, week out. They're pushing the other players who are playing in their positions. And it's keeping the mood good, the attitude around the side good. That's why we got rid of the Hellers, the Andersons, because they're not players that are going to sit there and take being subs, and they're going to rock the boat. And this is the thing we've got now. We've got that crop of players who are not rocking the boat. You see with the video that came the other day in the dressing room, Masuaku's not been one of our best players of late. His performances have been a bit low key, but he's in the dressing room with the other players. They're all training together. They're all having a laugh and a joke.
What do you expect him to do? Chuck him out?
No, but you know what I mean.
Scott, he did look like a mechanic in that tracksuit.
Yeah, he did. But this is the thing. This is what you want to see. You want to see the squad togetherness. You want to see the squad having a laugh together, even the players that are not playing, because it keeps us. It keeps us real. It keeps us pushing.
Thing is, as well, is when you've got I want to see players that ain't playing upset. I want them to be upset, thinking, I want to play. So it makes them train harder, and it makes them, when they get their chance, they take that chance. But at the moment, players like Yarmolenko ain't taking their chance. Masuaku ain't taking their chance. We just, that's what I'm saying. But the squad spirit, as I said the other day, it's one of the best I've seen in my time supporting West Ham. I've never known a togetherness like this. And that sort of started last season as well. I mean, remember when Lingard first signed and he was just welcomed into the squad, and then all the videos were coming out of him and Rice. And look at Zuma. Zuma could have come in with a massive ego. I've done this at Chelsea. I've won titles and trophies. He comes in, he's been there 10 years.
Always playing with a smile on his face.
And I think that comes down to having Kevin Nolan in the back of the staff as well. I really do.
Yeah. No, I agree. It all intertwines with each other. I like it, but we've got the game this weekend. I mean, if we can squeeze a win out of that, that'd be I think a miracle, and that'll put us in good stead. No, not a miracle actually. It wouldn't be a miracle, but it would get us in good stead, and it would put us back in a position where we would have beat Leeds. But the thing that annoys me is I just find that it's a little bit. We should have had this done. We knew he was thin. That sort of thing grates on me. I'm not going to keep on going on about it. Let me just read out some more of these comments. Can't see us buying anyone, and not with these owners, apart from the new guy. Golden Sullivan are tight, and I expect Moyes to ask about players. And won't surprise me if the Baller owners that said to him, go for someone less cheaper, and Moyes didn't want to do it. And the sort of player, Mark, that's complete speculation, I'm afraid, because he's come out and said, go and sign who you want. You'll need to think about who he's going to join. Is he going to be someone for the bench or someone to play? And if it's someone to play, who's going to stay out? It's not that simple. Well, it is that simple. You buy better players and you're buying them to play. Full Perfect said, we need an out-and-out striker most of all. I don't understand all the talk about defenders as though they are the priority. Schick would be perfect. A proven goal scorer, joint Euro 2020 goal scorer, top goal scorer, deadly in the Bundesliga for Bayern Leverkusen. He plays with Souček and Soufal in the Czech national team. Do you like him, Schick?
I like the goal he scored in Euros against Scotland from the halfway line. Look, he would. Look, we need a striker. He's a striker, so yeah, I'll take him. I'm at that point now where I'll take anyone that can play up front.
Thing is, we were linked with him in the summer, weren't we? And it didn't materialise. Yeah, so
I see. I can't remember. It was someone said about we were talking about the Norwich game. Pookie. His movement is really good. They just never get. There was a couple of times, weren't there? We were saying like he made some good runs against us. If they'd have got the ball through to him, we would have been banging trouble.
The thing is, Pookie would probably be good for the later stage, like for this last half of the season. The thing for me is he makes the right ones, but he's a striker that plays in a pair. I don't see him leading the line Antonio-esque, if you know what I mean. He's not got that bully boy mentality and stuff like that, and his pace.
No, but
I'm with you, mate. The movement
offers something different,
Yeah, the movement the players got,
because even like not even just playing against us. Like when I watch Match of the Day and that, and you watch the Norwich games. I mean, they're a poor side, but his movement is really good. And I think if they got the ball to him, it'd be a lot more dangerous.
That's the thing. It's just that the way they seem to play at the moment doesn't really suit the runs that he makes.
I don't move it quickly enough.
Yeah. And but the problem is, Gray, how many times this season do we not move the ball quickly enough? That's the thing. But he's again proven goal scorer. He's scored goals in the Premier League. Yeah, he's not having a fantastic season. We were saying there with Mitrovic earlier, like people saying in the comments, Mitrovic earlier along. Mitrovic is a solid forward. I think he lacks the pace to be able to play up top for us, the style that we play. But the way he was last season with Fulham, he didn't have a great season, but the system didn't suit him, and that's the thing. You need to have a system that suits your striker. No different to Hilaire. You play a system that suits Hilaire, he scores your goals. You play a system that don't suit him, he's not going to score your goals, and that was the problem.
Jared Holdlock says, I hope Lingard doesn't get stick from fans if not signed this window. Possibly they didn't even make an offer or one was rejected. And there is another comment that I put here, which leads us on to sort of our next subject. But Nicky, did you see Lingard's brother Instagram story? It had you in it. I did see that. Let me just put that up on the screen here. So it was a video that I've done over on DR Sports. And it says, not got a Scooby-Doo these channels. Weird how it's all on Jesse and nobody else. Change the narrative. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit puzzled by that because
I'll make him right. We ain't got a Scooby-Doo.
No, we haven't. We well, I'll answer that in a minute.
Well, but obviously he knows a bit more. He's his agent, isn't he? So obviously he knows a lot more. But I don't really get his point, if I'm honest.
No, I'll look. Listen, he might watch this. Someone might clip this and send it to him or whatever.
Hello, Jesse's brother.
I've never said a bad word about Jesse Lingard. Never, since he came to us. Never. I've always supported Jesse Lingard. I've always said thank you very much. Thank you. I've always said that I'd love him to come back here. I've always said that he needs to be playing here. We'd love to see him here. Be loved by the fan. I've never said a bad word about Jesse Lingard. Never. And what I was saying is that if he had the choice, now I'm not saying that he has got the choice. I'm not saying that Jesse Lingard is rejecting us to go there. I'm just saying if he had the choice, if West Ham and Newcastle went in for him at the same time, yeah, I'm not saying that they have. I'm just saying if they did, the only reason he would choose Newcastle is money. Now he may well go and choose Newcastle, and I can see his point in a thing because they're going to watch my video and say, "Oh yeah, he chose the money," but it may not be that West Ham weren't in for him. You know, I don't know. Well, I know a little bit. I know something, and this is what I was alluding to on Twitter. I know something, and I promised. Someone told me a few things, and I promised that I wouldn't say anything. So I'm not gonna bring that up or make any exclusive reveals on that. We just don't do that here. But this is my opinion. If Newcastle came in for him and we came in for him at the same time, the only reason he would choose Newcastle is the money. Now, as I said, he may well go to Newcastle if we're not in for him. But I'm solely believe, and I don't know. You're right. I haven't got a Scooby Doo. I'm not trying to make some sort of narrative towards Jesse Lingard or trying to say he's greedy or whatever like that. I'm not trying to influence him. I'm just saying if he had the choice, I believe he would come to us. I truly believe that. I'm not gonna. I could turn around and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, it came out right." I'm not gonna say sorry for it. It's my opinion. You're privy to it. You're sitting there. You know, if look, I'm in Manchester tomorrow. Come and have a word with me. Come and have a word. Tell me what's going on. I won't say anything. If you don't think I've got a clue, come and have a word with me, and I'll tell you what I know.
The thing is, you're right in what you're saying. If we're not in for him, then we're not in for him. But
No,
at the end of the day, any player now that goes to Newcastle is going to Newcastle for one reason and one reason only, and that's money. I don't care who you are, what player you are. You are going to Newcastle for the money because you know you're going to get a shed load much more money playing for them than you are any other team in the Premier League. Kieran Trippier's gone there for the money.
Yeah, but look, we were saying this last week. You can say that
Christmas come again when they signed him.
Yeah, but they signed Chris Wood because they got his release clause.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was at the end of the day. Why wouldn't he go to Newcastle? I know that
more money.
Look, I know that, but if they've released his release clause, who's the bigger club, Newcastle or Burnley?
Don't matter. They're still in the same position, no matter what the bigger club is.
It doesn't matter. That don't matter.
Of course.
So if Man United was third from bottom, and Burnley was second from bottom, who's the bigger club? Who would you rather play for?
It's not about who's the bigger club. It's about the fact that he's gone there for the money.
But that's just speculation, isn't it? Like I know,
right? But Newcastle coming for Chris Woods, right? When as soon as he found out they were for him, he thought every single Christmas would come at once.
You're only saying this because of what they've got, what's happened with Newcastle in the last few months. If that would never have happened, how do you know that these players wouldn't have gone there? So we can't really sit here and say, all right, most of the 9 times out of 10, it probably is for the money, but they're also getting sold a project of what Newcastle are going to bring. And if they stay up this season, they'll go out in the summer and they'll go and sign this player, that player, that player. And because all these players, when they signed for City, when it first happened for Chelsea, you know, you got to start somewhere.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, mate.
We don't know what wages they're on. I mean, Chris Wood might have been on 15 grand a week at Burnley. He might only be on 35 grand a week at Newcastle now. Yeah. So it's a big jump for him, but it's nothing compared to what other Premier League.
No, of course not. Of course not. But it's the only reason you're taking a sideward step. You're going from a relegation threatened side to a relegation threatened side because they're release calls and they're paying you double your wages. It's all about money.
But then the thing is, mate, would you turn down if someone offered you double the money to do the same job you're doing now?
Yeah,
you'd take it.
But you're not going to go from a side that's pushing for Europe, pushing for European football to go and play for Newcastle, who are fighting relegation.
No, I agree with Scott.
Sorry,
I agree with Scott.
But what I'm talking about is Trippier was in Spain, so he's not playing against anyone against European football. He's come to Newcastle. But Chris Wood was at Burnley in a relegation battle down there. So if Jesse Lingard goes to, I don't think Jesse Lingard will go Newcastle, if I'm honest. As I said the other week, I think it's going to go right down to the deadline, and I can see him signing for us. But if he does go Newcastle, he might go there, but we might not even have a bidding for him. So what choice has he got?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like Nicky said, at the end of the day, we ain't privy to the information. We don't know if we put in a bid for him. If he goes Newcastle, good luck to him. At the end of the day, like we said, you're not. So you offer me to go and work doing the job I do at another place, and they're going to double my money. I'm going. So I completely get it. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't leave a firm that's at the top of the tree or near the top of the tree pushing on better things to go and work for a team that's down the bottom just because they're paying me a bit more money. You've got to have a bit of class about you.
It's not. I don't think it's class. It depends. He is. He wants to. I would still believe this, and as I say, I'm not privy to any more information than anyone even in the chat. But I feel that he still has ambition to play for England. I think he's still good enough to play for England. I really do.
Yeah, but Lingard will play for it. If he goes to Newcastle, he's guaranteed to start. So he's gonna get in the squad.
He will be guaranteed to start. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you want to show off your talent, playing at the team at the bottom of the table. He's not going to do it as much as playing for a team at the top of the table. And to be fair, if he comes back here, he's more or less guaranteed to start. You know,
the flip side to that is if he goes to Newcastle and wins them games and moves them up the league, the spotlight's going to be on him as well, isn't it? So the thing is, I reckon personally, if he doesn't come to us, he'll see out the rest of his contract to United.
Yeah, I think so as well. I know that there's sort of different reports coming out from Newcastle and all that. But what concerns me about the Lingard's brother's comments, and I'm going to take these with a pinch of salt because, as I say, I haven't reached out to him or anything like that. I haven't, talked to him privately or something. But it's like you're talking like this is all in his control, and it's not in his. Well, he's got 6 months left of his contract. Wait 6 months, and you can go where you want. It is in your control. I'm not having it that it's not in his control because it is. If Newcastle coming for him, whether they accept a deal or not, he can always turn around and say no. So it is in his control. But
the
I'm not saying it's in his control to come back because we may not put the bid in.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is he saying, oh, it's not under his control, we're changing it? Well, I don't know what he means by change the narrative, but what I'm saying is it is under his control because whoever comes in for him, he can just turn around and go, no.
But see, this is the thing, right? At the end of the day with Lingard, we'd like to have him back. He's a quality player. We saw what he did for us last season. We want him to come back and do the same thing again this season and push us into the Europe, like keep us in the European spots and push us further in the Europa League. If you don't come, we don't come. At the end of the day, what we need to be worrying about is, I think it's just because Lingard played for us before. This is why it keeps getting mentioned so much. We need to make sure that, all right, if Lingard's our number one target, we don't get him. We need to get Diaz, who's our number two target. Do you know what I mean? This is the problem. We can't put all our eggs in one basket. And I'm with Ryan. It gets boring with Lingard. Lingard will be a great addition to the squad. If he wants to come, he wants to come. If we're in for him, we're in for him. If not, good luck to him. At the end of the day, no skin off my nose what club he goes to. But as I said, if you choose a side that's in Europe, a side that's competing for the top 6 to go and play for a side that's fighting relegation, you need to look at yourself.
I bet you was happy when Lucas Neal signed for us, Scott.
I can't remember, to be fair, mate. I probably weren't.
He turned down Liverpool in the Champions League to come and play for us in a relegation battle. I bet you had Neil number 2 on the back of your shirt and everything. Anyway, forget Lingard. Hopefully his brother's cheered up a bit. Let's move on.
The thing is, mate, the point I'm making is I think it's a bit out of order to be saying things like that when you don't know what we know, or you never met us or never spoke to us or whatever. You know what I mean? Like someone might have sent in that clip out of context. I just think it's a bit. It is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, don't let him upset you.
I won't let him upset me.
Don't worry about it, mate. It's all good. It's all good exposure for the channel.
Go away.
It would have been if they had tagged us in it.
He don't know me from fucking Adam. Believe me.
Who's Adam? Who's Rachel?
Exactly.
Anyway, let's move on to something else.
Kidderminster. Let's talk about Kidderminster. 1,700 tickets. It looks like they're giving us.
We've got that many. I didn't think we'd get as many as that.
Yeah, don't get too excited, Gray. I think the points are starting at like about 600. About 60, 65 in it. I think it starts at
62, I believe.
Yeah, good allocation. To be fair, fair play to Kidderminster for giving us that. They probably could have given us a lot less, but look, they want it packed to the rafters at that ground. They want to fill every single inch of that stadium. It's going to be. I was saying the other day that there was rumours circling around that Kidderminster were trying to get the game moved to the London Stadium for financial reasons, which I can totally understand. But for the romance of the FA Cup, I didn't want it moved to the London Stadium.
No.
Apart from West Ham fans, every set of fans want Kidderminster to win. They want to see us slip up. That's why the BBC have put us on at 12:30 on a Saturday. And I'm really looking forward to it. Whether we get tickets or not, that's another question. If not, we'll probably be doing something, a watch along or whatever together. And it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Love the FA Cup, and what a game! What a game for West Ham, and what a game for Kidderminster. What a bit of promotion for them.
Yeah, it's a good allocation though. But everything seems to have been leaked. But you probably got absolutely no chance of getting a ticket.
So I remember the game. Well, I wasn't at the game, but I watched the beam back to Upton Park in '94 when we had them in the 5th round.
Yeah. It weren't
Tough game then. It was a tough game. It'll be the thing is, it won't be an easy game again.
We've not been knocked out by La Liga opposition from the FA Cup for a long time now.
It's because we always get drawn against United or City in the first round.
Yeah. That's the reason. And the one that we didn't, we got knocked out by fucking West Brom.
And Wigan. We got knocked out by Wigan as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
To be fair, though, to Wigan, they did knock City out in the round after.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And that was only in 2017, wasn't it? 2018, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, down the years, remember Emley, Farnborough, Aldershot.
Yeah, but that's the old West Ham. This is the new West Ham now, and this is going to come and bite me in the arse, isn't it?
I know we did win those games eventually, but we made hard work of them.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, AFC Wimbledon.
But the thing you've got to look at is that performances lately against lower league opposition, as we've dispatched them quite easily. Who did we play last season in the 3rd round? And they made hard work of it, but we still got the job done. We still played well, and got the win. You look at the League Cup when the teams we played in that last season, we dismantled them with ease, the lower league sides. So this is the thing. This isn't the West Ham of old. You look at people saying they're Oxford and all that. Yeah, that was under poor management. This is different now. This is a different West Ham. We're not gonna roll over for these sides. If they beat us, then good luck to them. But at the end of the day, I think we'll dispatch them with ease.
Fucking, that's the famous last words.
No, I do agree. I think listen, look, we're obviously the better team. We've got the better players. Kidderminster have come out all guns blazing for the first 20 minutes, half hour. It wouldn't surprise me if they nicked a goal or something like that. But over the 90 minutes, I can see us beating Kidderminster, and this might come back to bite me, but I think we will go through. It won't be easy though. It might even be a 2-1 win or something like that.
No, I think we will win, but I'll never take anything for granted in the cup.
You can't
too many times, Danny. Not just us, but like.
It also comes down to
there's always been
who's Moyes is going to start that day, whether he's going to go full strength. And I think he will, because I think Moyes was going to take this competition serious. There might be a couple of youngsters chucked in there, but we'll still have a decent team.
The thing is, this is where the under-23s playing in the or the under-21s, playing in the what's it called now, the Papa John's Trophy. This is where it then benefits, because when you bring in the youngsters,
the what trophy, Scott?
Papa John's Trophy.
Papa John's.
Papa John's, sorry.
What is it? Papa Dom's Trophy. I was thinking, what's the Papa Dom's Trophy?
Papa John Bridge.
You're now bringing players in that have competed at the sort of League One, League Two level. So it's not. Look, as I said, go back to the FA Cup. The FA Cup last season or the League Cup last season when we played Hull. Was it Hull, Charlton? We dispatched them sort of sides quite easily. And I think it's the experience that these under-23 players are gaining from playing in competitions like that makes these banana skins a lot less likely. Look, Kidderminster are going to make it hard work for us. Look, but as I said, I still think that we're going to dispatch them with ease. I think,
as I said, look, the romance of the FA Cup, I'm looking forward to it, whether I'm there or whether I'm watching it in wherever. But it's going to be a great day for Kidderminster, whatever the result. Because a lower leg.
This is their cup final. And if they beat us, then the next game's their cup final. They're going to be loving it. They're going to be up for it. They're going to want to prove a point. It's on the telly. There's going to be loads of people watching. There's going to be a sellout crowd, so they're going to be up for it. But as I said, I just think will be too much for them. Really do.
Right. Next.
Well, Graham, you say something.
I don't know. We've pretty much covered everything, haven't we?
What about let's have a
What are you eating?
Let's have a
What are you
little chat
eating,
about that.
Nicholas?
Go on, Gray.
No, he wasn't
No,
saying
no.
anything.
No, I don't know what Nick's eating. What's Nicky eating?
Don't worry about what I'm eating. Let Ryan talk.
Exactly. Go on, Ryan.
Fucking hell. Right. Should we talk about that Paul Ince interview?
Yeah. Just briefly. Go on, mate. You talk about still eating a bit of sausage.
Fucking hell. Yeah, well, I didn't really know much about it, but Nicky told me about it earlier, and I watched it when I was in the gym earlier. Yeah, it's basically about Paul Ince, how he left the club. As we always know, there's always two sides to every story, and there was a lot in that interview that I've never even heard of before. Never heard of what happened, how he left the club. I always know about the famous, the photo of the shirt got leaked before he signed for United, obviously. But yeah, it was an interesting watch, really enjoyable to listen. It's only a half-hour video, but yeah, basically his agent just said that obviously Paul Ince signed a 4-year deal for West Ham. A few weeks later, they sacked John Lyall, and he was very loyal to John Lyall. John Lyall actually raised him, like brought him up as his son, and I didn't know that. I know Nicky said to me about it, but I never knew that story. And yeah, it was an interesting watch, and it gave me another sort of side to the Paul Ince situation. I mean, I was too young to remember that when it happened, but I know that growing up, you obviously learn from the older generation. You hate Paul Ince, but as I said, there's always two sides to every story.
The thing is, right? Like I said, I'd seen something. He did not this interview, but it was saying a few years ago, and he was saying about it. And I think with the with the whole thing with the picture of him in the Man United shirt, I think the deal was pretty much done, and it was he was going away on holiday, and his agent said, "Oh, look, have the photos done in the Man U shirt, and it'll be released, once the deal's all gone through." But I think it was while he was away, it was all. I don't know. I think it was his agent released the pictures or something like that. So
It wasn't his agent. It was.
This
was covered.
It was a reporter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a reporter. So they had to have the photos that he went away. He was injured, and he went away on holiday, and they didn't have time when he came back to take the presses. So he said, "Let's get, I don't know, Steve down from the Express." I think it was the Express. I'm sorry if it ain't, but so he said, "Let's get Steve down from the Express. He'll take a photo for you before you go, and then the day you sign, he'll be able to release it." So it all started coming out that he was going, and before there was a delay in the transfer for some reason.
Yeah,
it was to do with, and this was another interesting thing as well, is that when he was just about to sign for United, an injury popped up, and they had to fly a special doctor in, and he said, and his agent said to Ince, "Look, whatever you do, when they touch you, do not flinch, just hold it in." And it ended up that his agent actually laid in the hospital bed, and they'd done the medical on his agent because the doctor didn't know who Paul Ince was, and that's how he ended up signing for United.
Yeah, but we'll move on to that a bit later. But in terms of the transfer, so something got delayed. I think it's because of the medical. But a message got through to the Express that it was going through, and they wanted to be first. They remembered they had the photo, so they printed the photo. And that was it. And then what Ryan's saying there about the medical is they done a medical with a guy, right? And this was really interesting. I thought this was really interesting. And what Ryan said was spot on now. But he done an interview with a guy at Man United, and they come out and told Alex Ferguson that his career was done. He said couldn't play football anymore.
Yeah, he was in the boardroom, wasn't he, with Matt Busby and Alex Ferguson, and
Yeah.
he said that he walked out, and he said also like the agent walked out, and Alex Ferguson had tears in his eyes, and he said, "What's the matter?" He said, "He's just been told that his career's finished. There was something wrong with his pelvic
bone, yeah.
pelvic bone, wasn't it?" But yeah, look, obviously Ince went on to have a great career for captain England, Liverpool, United. But the interesting thing for me was when he was so loyal to John Lyall that when he signed that 4-year deal, he didn't even ask how much he was getting. He just said, I'm here for John Lyall. And he phoned up his agent and just said, look, they've sacked John Lyall. And his agent was like, no, West Ham don't sack managers. And even when he said it to Alex Ferguson went, no, that's not right because West Ham don't sack managers. But they sacked John Lyall, and then obviously they went and sat in the boardroom with the Kearns, Lou Macari, Billy Bonds, and they said, look, he said, I can get about 2 million for Ince. No, they said, look, Ince ain't for sale. Like he said, look, I can get about 2 million for you. When you can get 2 million for him, he said, go and get it, basically. And I think he ended up getting, was it 2.7 million?
2.7, yeah.
And it was a British transfer record at the time, I think, or Man United broke their transfer record because they signed Gary Pallister on the same day as well. But it was just an interesting watch, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people asking about the interview, what it was on. I can't remember. I think it was. Is it on our?
I think we retweeted it on our Twitter.
Yeah, I think we retweeted it on our Twitter. So if you go on our Twitter, it's on there. But yeah, it was an interesting watch. And yeah, it was.
That's the thing. At the end of the day, he was leaving anyway. He just got shafted, and it was just that's the problem. He got shafted.
Yeah, we all agreed.
Another thing as well is that he said he only wanted to go to United, and that was it. He said because Brian Robson was his hero, and he wanted to play. He said Terry Venables wanted him as well at Spurs. He said, "I'm not going to Spurs." He said it's either Man United or nothing. I'll stay at West Ham. Like he was just so upset at the time with the way John Lyall was treated by the club and he was like a father figure to him. Like, and I never really knew that about Paul Ince. And
see, I find these sort of things fascinating because there's always two sides to a story. But I think a couple of people said there they remember it and he didn't handle it very well and he was very derogatory about the club and the fans. I think it's a bit like the Lampard situation. I think it's quite like that. He's got someone close to him at the club. They've done that guy wrong. He's turned around and said, right, well, fuck this. I'm not playing for these anymore. I would say that was exactly the same, wouldn't you? Right?
Yeah, it's not much different, to be fair. It's not much different.
Another thing
but what, I mean, football's different now. I don't remember the Ince one. I don't remember the Ince. I think it was just before sort of started getting into football. And I was very young at the time, but I don't really remember the Ince situation. I see it as, like Ryan, I bet you do, Gray. I bet you do remember it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was about 13 at the time. Obviously, you see that picture in the paper, and then obviously everyone else, like all the fans, like when you go, the grand swell of opinion builds and that, and then there was no sort of coming back from it really, because back then you think there was no social media, there was no platform for the players to get their side of the story across. So you only go from what was in the papers or what you're hearing on.
It hasn't
It
hasn't obviously, like someone's just said there. Yeah, why has it waited this long to bring it up? Like, what? I don't know why Ince has waited this long, or his agent has waited this long to bring this interview out and reveal. But one thing I didn't know as well is that his best mate is Steve Potts.
Yeah,
his best friend is Steve Potts, and they're still best friends to this day. They was best man at each other's wedding. And I didn't realise that even them two. I didn't even realise they were that close. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's took this long for him to tell his side of the story. I think we all knew about the photo thing. That was, I thought, was common knowledge. I learned that years ago. But
then you get, because I think even to the agent's admission, he's a bit flash, points. He's a bit cocky, bit like I don't owe no one nothing and all of that sort of thing.
Oh, well, he nicknamed himself the governor. I don't think anyone else nicknamed him it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a bit flash, bit cocky, bit arrogant and all of that sort of thing. Maybe he just thought, fuck him. Don't owe
Yeah,
them
that's
nothing.
it. Exactly. That's
And
probably what it is.
that's where I think my problem lies with a player like that, because no matter what you think of managers, clubs, players, blah 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 blah, like the only and I know everyone has, you know, a what's the word? Everyone's got a personal life and a personal vendetta, and there are times when you fall out with a club and you want to leave. It's exactly the same like the Lampard situation, right? This is, but the problem is with football. It's not like another job. Is that when you go to your work, you don't have 35,000 people paying a ticket to come and watch you every week. You don't have, kids and people getting names on the back of their shirts or buying points photos or all of that sort of thing, right? So I think this is where a lot of hate comes from, because when you do that, there's no sort of like explanation. I think if you're going to move club, there's got to be an explanation to the fans. Like if he'd have come out in the paper and turned around and went, "I'm leaving West Ham because John Larwey's like my father." Because at the time, I think there was a little bit of like upset. If I remember rightly, or I've heard rightly, Graham, you'll correct me on this. There was a little bit of animosity of the second of Lyle.
Well, my dad had been a season ticket holder since 1975, and then once they sacked John Lowell, he never renewed his season ticket, and I think he said he'd never go back over. And I think he's been back over there twice.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
After
saying.
they said it, because my dad felt that strongly about it.
So if he'd have
He
turned around
knocked
at the
the season
time
ticket on the head.
and explained to fans that I'm leaving because he's like my father, they've fucked him, they've wronged him, and I'm not playing for them fuckers up top anymore. And I'm gonna go. That's the reason I'm leaving. Yeah. I think there could have been a little bit of. Oh, that's fair enough.
Probably exactly the same situation as you said with Frank Lampard when they sacked Harry and his dad.
That's the thing. Frank Lampard come out and said, "I couldn't start the club the way they treated Lampard and his old man and Redknapp." But look at the way the fans treated him.
No, he didn't say that at the time.
Well, he come out and said it quite shortly after.
No, he didn't. You heard nothing from him, or I never heard anything from him anyway. It's one of them things again.
That's the thing. And the one thing with Lampard, what he said, the amount of stick he got off of West Ham fans when his mum passed away, he got more messages of support and condolences from West Ham fans than anybody else.
Yeah, of course.
And this is a side that this is fans that hated his guts.
That's what I'm saying. I think sometimes when these players leave, they forget, that it's not just you in a club. There are people that idolise you.
But I think that's the world they live in. I don't think they live, especially now, they don't live in the real world, footballers. They live in their football world.
Their bubble.
Yeah. You see it with Andy Carroll. Andy Carroll saying, "I don't know why fans get on their back," and stuff like that. They don't get it. And that's the thing. And that's the detachment that you see with a lot of modern day footballers compared to the old school footballers. We've seen it ourselves, the amount of older generation footballers we met, how nice they are, how welcoming they are to talk to you and things like that. And then you get your modern day players who don't want to even give you the time of day. It's hardship for them to pose for a picture or sign an autograph. And it's just because they live in their bubbles and they think this is how everything is. And some players, you get your odd players that are more down to earth and more welcoming, but that's the problem. A lot of players live in this footballers, millionaires bubble, and so what if the fans don't like me? So what if we're not playing well? I don't care. I'm getting my money. I'm playing my football. That's all they care about. And that's one of the downsides of modern day football.
Fair play. Right, we're going to do very short. Ask us anything today because I have got to get up, and so has Ryan. Let's go to Manchester in the morning. So, can we put the banner up? Can we put the? What is it?
Ryan's on it.
There we go. So quickly get some questions.
Yeah, we're going till what? Another 20 minutes?
Yeah.
We've got to sort of preview the United game as well, but yeah. Don't know what to say really.
Well, I had a question in there.
Someone's agreed with me with the Lampard thing. Here we go. Look, sorry. Yeah, shortly after he left West Ham. So I said,
I don't remember it.
Yeah, I remember it. And it's unusual for me to remember things.
I sort of do remember it, but I don't know when it come out. But
I don't know. I can't.
I
tell
do
you
remember
when it
that
come out,
Frank Lampard Jr. saying that he was unhappy with the way his dad and uncle were treated. So I suppose if any of us were working for a firm and our dad and uncle got the sack, we'd look at it.
It's hard to say that. Yeah, exactly. While we're waiting for some questions coming, does anyone see with Derby? They're looks like they're gonna be sort of kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
It's a shame because they're a great football club and they've just been, left to rot.
Another club with a bit like Forest, winning to. I think a lot of people forget Derby won 2 First Division titles in the 70s, European Cup semi-finals. It's
I'm sure
a
someone
club with big history.
I'm sure.
The thing that I find crazy is that the football club and the fans are being sort of done for poor management from above. It wasn't the chairman made the decisions to break the financial fair play rules and all that, and they've been duly punished, and they've got administrators in and all that, but it's the fans that are suffering at the end of it.
No, it's always the fans that suffer, and it's always the fans that get the last faults. To be honest with you, but
that's it. Same with Bury.
Favorite January of past windows. Favorite January transfer of past windows. Am I right in saying Ashton was a January signing?
Yes, he was, because we signed him after the 3rd round of the FA Cup against Norwich, because they didn't play him in that game, so he wouldn't be cup tied.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
In recent times, I'd probably say
Lingard. Even though it
yeah.
was only a loan.
Bowen.
Yep. To be fair, we've had a couple of good Januaries on the bounce, really, haven't we? With that, them 2 windows there. That the Lingard coming in, the Bowen and Sergej coming
Bowen.
in. It's they're 2 good winners in January. But yeah, I think you're right. I think you got to be looking at the Dean Ashton one.
Oh, I love Dean Ashton, man. Who's the best pub quizzer out of all of you?
It depends, doesn't it? Depends what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Useless information. It's got to be me.
Favorite 90s reject: Radicchio or Hugo Porfirio?
Porfirio, just for that goal in the snow at Wrexham.
Radicchio was fucking shite, mate.
Florin Radicchio.
Thoughts on the Pratt and the Hat, Mr. Doing Time. 3 years not enough, in my opinion.
Don't even give him. Don't even give that bloke a fucking.
I've got my thoughts, so I'll keep them to myself, to be honest with you.
But all I'm going to say is it should have been longer.
How many signings written we're getting at the end of this month? 29.
I'm going to go for 2. I think we'll have 2.
Yeah, minimum 2, but I want at least 3, maybe 4.
3, I reckon.
I can't see anything more.
Hang on.
Oh, there's one about Europa League final. Which one of us thought to bag the winner in the 85th minute off the bench? I reckon Ryan. I can't, can I?
Oh no, you're not logged in. Sorry, mate.
So what one of us for what?
Off the bench to score the winner.
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. If you're looking for a 30-yard screamer, though, I reckon Nicky's your man, because he never scores tap-ins.
It is one.
I scored one in every 3 years.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
But you save it up for that game, mate. Save it up.
Yeah, Nick, here's one.
Snog, marry, avoid. Ryan Scott Graham. Fucking hell. Avoid Graham.
Oh, cheers, mate. Fucking hell.
It's not-
Everyone else does. I won't worry about it.
it's not- and I'd marry Ryan. There you go.
There you go. Done.
Cheers, mate.
We're
I
like
don't know
that
what I've done.
anyway,
I don't know what
so-
I've done, but there you go.
Well, someone's got to miss out. What do you want? Would you want to marry me? You fucking
Yeah, what's that? Emma's
arsehole.
mighty. Sensible soccer or Italian, aren't they? Sensible soccer all day.
Soccer all day long.
I've been playing that again because I've got one of them Raspberry Pi emulators. Been playing Sensible World of Soccer.
Anthony Thompson says, would you lot be up for the London Stadium changing it to standing like the olden days? I think, of course, we would.
Yeah.
Me and Graham, well, when Graham's there, we stand in the section we sit in anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you like. If you like standing, then it's good. If you don't like standing, then so be it. That's one of the things. For me, I'd love to see standing come back, and I still don't understand why it's not been brought back.
Yeah, it is being brought back.
Yeah, it has been
Yeah, no, it's been brought back now, but I'm saying it should have been done a lot longer. You know, a lot longer ago. It should have.
No, yeah, I think you still have to respect, like, in terms of the safe standing, like, you've got to look at. I think you've got to look at clubs that have lost people through standing, and you've got to sort of run it by them first, because I think it's just a bit.
I mean, I've seen the safe standing at Schalke.
Yeah,
And it's like you still have your seat, but it's just like I think there's like a pedal thing you put in it as a pop-up barrier. So that's like just a barrier for one person to lean on. It's, you know.
I know what you mean, but like it's just common courtesy. Oh, excuse me.
They've obviously got it at United, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Cardiff. I think the ones that are trialing it. And I spoke to my mate who's a Chelsea fan. He's in the standing bit, and he says it's good. You know, it works. So I can imagine that if I was to put anywhere in that London Stadium, I think it'll be behind the goal, maybe probably more lower. The probably more end, I think it'll be if they're going to trial it.
Yeah, it makes sense that end. To be fair, at the London Stadium, I think you're right, mate. I think that's where it'll be. But it'd be good. It'd be good to see it brought back in. You know, you get idiots running on the pitch with everyone sitting down. So I don't, you know, I don't see there now going to be any problems. We haven't got the problems in football that we used to have when they were, you know, when it all went wrong and stuff like that. So you know, hopefully it does work and it does come back.
Yeah, that one about kits and arts. It weren't Windows then, was it? I think you could sign players at any point during the season up to April, wasn't it?
I think we signed them in February time, didn't we? But they were still great signings, and if it wasn't for them two, we would have got relegated that season. I think if I remember rightly, I think was it Kitson got about 8 goals and Hartson got 5 or something like that. And yeah, as Richard just said there, I agree. I think Paul Kitson was a very underrated player. I thought he done really well for us, and
injuries done him. Injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when he come back after being out of the team for about 2 years, and he scored a hat-trick against Charlton at the Valley. He was good for Newcastle as well. When we signed him, I remember when we got him, and I remember that game at Upton Park when we beat Sheffield Wednesday. I think it was like 5-1, and I think Hartson was it Kitson got a hat-trick and Hartson scored 2, or the other way round. But we just ripped him apart that day. And if I remember rightly, I'm sure that game was Rio Ferdinand's debut for the club as well.
He come on a sub, didn't he?
I remember.
I think as well the injuries and the fact that we lost. You know, I think them two complemented each other the way they played up top. And I think when we lost,
it was big man, little man, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you knock it up to Hartman as well. You knock it up to Hartman.
Everyone played 4-4-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was good. Worst ground you've been to?
What worst ground? London Stadium.
Sellers Park.
Barnsley weren't great.
I'm going for Newport. Standing on the I don't know, Gillingham, not Gillingham. Yeah, it was Gillingham. Standing on the scaffolding, that was quite bad as well. So I'm going to go Newport or Gillingham for me.
Yeah, this is a good one. If West Ham United did not exist, who would you support?
You can't say it, can you? Probably someone local.
Yeah.
It would probably, if they didn't exist, it probably would have been Orient because that would have been the closest club to me.
It probably would have been
the
Orient.
closest club to where I live at the minute is Dagenham Redbridge.
Well, there you go then. But you can't, but where would you have lived at the time? You would have lived in Plaster.
Oh, where I lived at, yeah, I was living in Plaster at the time.
It would have been Orient.
East End Plaster, so it would have been Orient. So
Same, I think.
was the
Would have been
closest.
Orient.
Yeah. There you go. Right, can we start wrapping it up?
Yeah, if you want, mate.
It's just I'm nodding off. I've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all your comments and all the regulars that come in. And if you're new around here, do subscribe. Anything else?
Nah. We're previewing the Man United game whenever. I don't know. Scott will have a preview coming up, won't he? Or
Yeah,
we ain't spoke about it tonight, so
no, we'll speak about it tomorrow. We've got loads of things, but yeah, join us for all of the Man United stuff, and we'll leave it there. Nothing left to say.
And you can go and get a good night's kit.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, your hands.
Come on, your irons.